The devs have just confirmed a brand new Aim Assist 2.0 inside of Battlefield 6. But before you panic, they're calling it very light. What does this actually mean, and how will it affect console and crossplay players? Let's talk about it here in this video. In a recent interview, the lead or senior console combat designer explained what Aim Assist 2.0 is. He says from the get-go, they inherited a lot of the overall systems from Battlefield 2042 in terms of things like Aim Assist. They had a lot of data to go off of because 2042 provided crossplay for the user. So they looked at the history all the way through all of the seasons because there were manual improvements little by little on Aim Assist and everything as the game matured and progressed. So when they inherited all of that, they wanted to look at the data points of what 2042 was putting out, and then they did a post-mortem on what they thought they could deliver inside of Battlefield 6. It says ultimately, no matter the input or platform you're on, they want Battlefield 6 to be the best possible play experience. He went on to say, we want to have a fair, competitive, and balanced approach. We call it Aim Assist 2.0. It's an evolution of what we had in Battlefield 2042. He says, we're talking real-time renders now. They've moved away from squares, boxes, and spheres to a capsule-oriented mesh for Aim Assist. They've really upped the level of consistency and performance across the board. And he says they're going very light on Aim Assist. He says we're not even having a rotational Aim Assist in the game, and they have removed snap zoom, of course, which was in Battlefield 2042. The open beta, you could feel the Aim Assist was not as strong as it was, of course, in Battlefield 2042. So I felt like the Battlefield 6 beta was already in a good spot when it came to Aim Assist and the way the guns just performed. Battlefield 2042 had a big issue, in my opinion, when it first dropped about the movement, and the aim down sights never really felt right. Nothing was ever perfect. You could take Aim Assist down a notch, you could turn Aim Assist snap up or down. It just never felt good. And over time they did improve it, but still to this day the aiming in Battlefield 2042 was just off. So I was kind of concerned, honestly, when Battlefield 6 was announced and the beta came out, of how the Aim Assist was going to kind of act. And I was really surprised at how good it was. It felt like those older Battlefield games. It felt like pretty much any other first-person shooter you play. Now, it wasn't as sticky as something like Call of Duty or some of those games, but Aim Assist across the board for most FPSs is pretty similar if there is an Aim Assist available. But Battlefield 2042 was the exception to me because it felt really odd compared to most first-person shooters and definitely compared to any other Battlefield title we've had in the past. So I was glad to hear them talk about this because I'm sure we'll get changes and updates to the Aim Assist system in the game. That just pretty much happens with any game because sometimes some input curves may be too strong or too weak depending on what you choose when you set up your controller or you set up your mouse and keyboard. And there's a lot of players out there that play on controller that are on PC or vice versa that may play on mouse and keyboard if you're on a console. So having this system work really well but not be too strong but not be too weak at the same time is probably a hard thing to do nowadays because of crossplay. But it sounds like they're really dedicated to making sure Battlefield 6's Aim Assist is still good but not too strong. A light system is kind of, like I said, what they were talking about here. And I have not heard any complaints so far from all of the Battlefield Labs testing since the beta had ended, or of course even from the recent media and content creator event they did where they could play some of the larger maps. I have not heard anyone on console say that they feel like the Aim Assist or anything has changed. Anything feels different controller-wise since the beta, so that's a really good sign as well. Because I saw a few people here talk about this when they first read it or heard it. They were saying, oh no, they've changed the way Aim Assist works since what we experienced in the beta. The game's going to feel completely different. And so far, from my knowledge, I have not heard anything like that. Everyone's still saying it's playing and it feels really good. And that's something, like I said, that I really disliked in Battlefield 2042. I really did feel like your movement, from sprint to tactical sprint, of course, to aim down sight. I know we don't have tactical sprint in Battlefield 6, but you want everything to be fluid and feel good if you're using a controller. You want to be able to, snap onto targets, but you don't want those targets to be just locked on with some crazy sticky aim. You also don't want it to be too overbearing where it feels like you can't move from target to target easier. So this is a good sign that they're really going into detail about a lot of stuff. Lately, the devs have been talking about a lot of stuff they're doing inside of Battlefield 6. And for me, that's always a great thing. When you hear a lot of good stuff coming from the devs, even if it's not good stuff, maybe necessarily to some players. Some players may like some of the info that comes out and some may not. But as long as the developers are putting this information out there and the community is not just kind of left wondering what's going on before launch, that's always a good sign. And I hope they continue this conversation with the community, with the media, doing these interviews and podcasts even after the game launches. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this new Aim Assist 2.0 system. Were you a fan of the Aim Assist and how aiming worked in general in the Battlefield 6 beta? Do you think it needs some changes, or do you like it right where it was at then? Leave me a comment with your thoughts, and if you liked the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.